Chapter 02. God Mountain looms majestically, its peak piercing the skies and shrouded in an otherworldly glow. This revered locale is not only a focal point of divine energy but also the resting place of Veldonava, the god dragon. At its summit, Veldonava lies in a state of profound slumber, an embodiment of divine power and tranquility. His form, immense and radiant, is entwined with the very essence of the mountain, maintaining the balance of the cosmos with every breath. The surroundings of God Mountain are a serene expanse of divine light and shadow, with the air tingling with ancient magic. The mountain's landscape is bathed in a soft, ethereal luminescence, a testament to the celestial presence that rests there. Suddenly, the harmony of this divine realm is shattered. A ripple of distortion, like a crack in the fabric of reality, spreads across the skies. The once stable space around God Mountain begins to warp and twist as though reality itself is being unraveled. Veldonava's eyes, though closed in a deep, restorative slumber, snap open. The serene expression on his face shifts to one of intense concentration. He senses an unprecedented disturbance, an entity or spirit is descending into his domain, disrupting the sanctity of his rest. His awareness stretches beyond the physical realm, reaching into the chaotic flux where the very essence of space and time is in upheaval. The celestial forces surrounding the mountain react to the disturbance, and the ambient light flickers as the divine presence stirs. Veldonava's immense power begins to awaken, manifesting as a surge of raw energy that radiates from his being. The divine aura envelops the mountain, counteracting the spatial distortions and attempting to stabilize the realm. As the entity draws nearer, Veldonava's senses sharpen. He reaches out with his divine consciousness, probing the nature of the intruder and the source of the anomaly. His ancient wisdom and cosmic awareness seek to understand whether this disturbance is a harbinger of crisis or a signal of a new chapter in the world's fate. The air around God Mountain crackles with tension, a cosmic prelude to the encounter that is about to unfold. Veldonava remains vigilant, his divine form shimmering with latent power, prepared to confront whatever force has dared to breach the sanctity of his rest and the stability of the universe. Veldonava's pav. I had been ensconced in my timeless slumber atop God Mountain, my consciousness adrift in a sea of divine tranquility. It was a state of perfect harmony, a serene interlude amid the cosmic rhythms I had orchestrated. Yet, that peace was abruptly shattered by an unfamiliar force, a sensation so profound that it pulled me from my rest with startling urgency. As I stirred, the disturbance crystallized into a realization: a fifth true dragon had emerged. Such an event was extraordinary in itself, for the true dragons are entities of immense power and singularity. But this being was different. Incomplete, yet possessing an almost overwhelming power that rivaled my own, if not surpassing it by a fraction. This was no ordinary arrival. Intrigued and somewhat perturbed, I willed myself closer to this anomaly, my divine essence flowing through the vast expanse of God Mountain. I sought to greet this new arrival, to understand the nature of this unprecedented presence. Yet, before I could make contact, the entity vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. The void left in its wake was baffling. As the creator of all, I am attuned to the intricacies of existence, yet here I was, confronted with an anomaly that defied all my comprehension. Then, a remarkable sight unfolded before me, a solitary figure ascending the treacherous path of my mountain. His blue hair and golden eyes mirroring my own marked him as significant. What was more astonishing was his resolve to climb despite the formidable aura I had intentionally restrained to ward off minor disturbances. He struggled with each step, his form racked with what appeared to be excruciating pain. As he neared the summit, he fell to his knees, clutching his body in agony. The fluctuation in his power was palpable, a volatile dance of energy that threatened to unravel his very being. It was clear that reaching me had exacted a tremendous toll. His perseverance was nothing short of extraordinary. Now, as I observed him closely, the nature of his dragon factor became apparent. It was indeed incomplete, an inferior echo of the true dragon essence, yet undeniably potent. He embodied a new iteration of the true dragons, a form that seemed to balance on the precipice between existence and nothingness. It dawned on me that this being, though different, was a successor to the primordial lineage I had long known. My earlier belief that Ivaraj was my antithesis was misplaced. This new presence was something altogether distinct. A wave of concern and curiosity surged through me. Had he come to confront me, to challenge my existence? The thought lingered, fraught with the weight of his unknown intentions. The moment of revelation came when he lifted his gaze towards me, his expression etched with profound anguish. His voice, tinged with desperation, cut through the quiet. "Big brother, please, you have to help me. Imprison me or kill me, but I can't hold on much longer. Please, do something. The words pierced my divine being like a sharp blade. To hear such a plea from a member of my own kin, from one so deeply entwined with my own essence, was a heart-wrenching moment. This was not merely a request for aid, it was a cry for salvation from a suffering that transcended mortal understanding. In that instant, the full weight of his plight became clear. He was not merely a new force but a struggling soul, caught between the vast potential of his power and the agonizing reality of his incomplete state. My role as his elder brother, as a guardian of the cosmic balance, compelled me to respond to offer the resolution he so desperately sought. The path ahead was fraught with difficult choices. To imprison him might offer a temporary reprieve, but it would also confine him to a state of unfulfilled potential. To end his suffering could be an act of mercy, but it would also extinguish a being with extraordinary promise. As I grappled with these thoughts, the divine energies around us seemed to hold their breath, awaiting the decision that would shape the future of both our destinies. In the quiet of God Mountain, amidst the eternal dance of light and shadow, I prepared to confront the complexities of this moment, knowing that the choice I made would echo through the very fabric of existence. Rimuru Pav. As I slowly open my eyes feeling dizzy, I see we are in the midway of the mountain, where there's full of flowers grow. Which I would call it the flower biome. Where am I? Did it succeed? As I asked Seal. Good morning Master, now to answer your questions. We're now in the God Mountain. What's that? I never heard any place called God Mountain. I thought we're supposed to be in Jura Forest aren't we? I asked in panic. Indeed we're supposed to be in Jura Forest, but because of Feldway had also locked you Master out from returning to the world using space-time leap. As if banning Master's existence itself from the world, preventing your return. Because of that and unknown forces that blocked our way to the original time where we're born or Master you got reincarnated to this world's. And it pushed us to more than 1,000 year past. After hearing this, I was in shock. I mean who won't, but then suddenly I felt insane amount of pain in my chest. Shit, it really hurts. Why though? It shouldn't have been like this. I should have been okay and saved everyone in the future. Why is everything going wrong at the very start? I said, fell on my knees, clutching body in agony. Master, I am sorry. I did not expect this. It seems that due to forcefully time travel your spiritual body takes some damages and because of your incomplete state you are in danger when you are not in the void. Since you are the ruler of the void it healed you constantly but here everything just spills out. I am sorry but this might be the end for everything if we don't come up with an idea. Seal said in panic voice. Then there I saw a dragon, the dragon I know very well so I stared up to the dragon that towered in front of me and pleaded with all my heart to him. Big brother please help me, please do something, imprison me or kill me I can't hold on much longer. Please do something. He seemed shocked that I would ask something like this of him. Of course killing any other true dragon wouldn't be bad per se but killing me would mean the end for me since I am not complete. I can't control myself this is not the void. It hurts please help me, do something, I said as my aura is flowing everywhere. It looked like he thought it all over and then stretched out his arms and concentrated. I felt space shift around me and then everything went dark but not completely. It was like my imaginary space. I looked around until I saw the same dragon that brought me here look down on me. Hello Veldonava or elder brother. Thank you for helping me. I said stand up and bow a little to showing my gratitude and respect. Who are you? I know that you have a dragon factor but not a complete one. And also your soul seems like a damage, asked Veldonava. You could say that I am the 5th true dragon and as you said I am not complete. That is because I wasn't born as a true dragon but as a slime. Then I evolved into a true demon lord and later on created my own dragon factor by analyzing the other true dragon's factor. Therefore my dragon factor is not complete and my body is more of a subspecies of the true dragon race. I said, how did you become such a creature? And when? Veldonava asked. The journey began with my death once human, now reborn as a mere slime. It was fate, or perhaps misfortune, that led me to encounter Veldora, with whom I forged friendship. Through trials and tribulations, I ascended to the rank of a true demon lord. But that was only the beginning. In a fierce war, I clashed against Veldora and Velgrind, determined to free Veldora from the tyrannical grasp of Justice King Michael's Regalia Dominion. In the heat of battle, I devoured Veldora, not to destroy him, but to save him, and in doing so, I brought him back from the abyss. Once the dust had settled, I delved deep into the essence of what I had consumed, analyzing Veldora's very factor until I could create my own. However, peace was short-lived. A new menace, a great evil that had grown beyond comprehension, emerged. During the climactic battle against Feldway, he unleashed a devastating power chronosaltation. It didn't just hurl me to the ends of time and space, it sealed my fate, barring me from returning to our world with space-time leap. At the end of time itself, I found myself. Within that void, a strange affinity for the abyss awakened within me. Perhaps it was a manifestation of my despair, or maybe something far darker. When I finally returned, it was with the knowledge of a future too terrible to allow, yet too inevitable to prevent. And now, standing before you, I am haunted by that realization. My voice, heavy with fatigue and reflection, carries the weight of everything I've endured. As I finished recounting my tale, suddenly he extended his hand towards me, and did some kind of ancient magic. A black and purple mist began to swirl around me. Strangely, I felt a sense of calm, of safety, enveloping me. As the mist thickened, I felt my consciousness begin to fade, slipping into a peaceful oblivion. Veldonava Pav. As I listened to the tale, I could feel the heavy weight of sadness and anger in their voice, emotions that mirrored my own sorrow. The thought of my future family, my daughter, Veldonava, growing up without parents struck me deeply. The pain of that loss, and the realization that Feldway harbored such a deep grudge against all sentient life, only intensified my resolve. Feldway's wrath was born from the belief that I had abandoned them, and with no signs of my resurrection after centuries, they concluded that they had been forsaken, spurring them into a path of vengeance aimed at the annihilation of all sentient beings. Hearing the full extent of this tragedy, I made a decision. I would aid my newfound little sibling in this struggle. Yet, I also understood the necessity of allowing certain events to unfold as they were meant to preserve the future that had been revealed. But before anything else, I needed to stabilize their condition, for their spiritual body was on the brink of collapse. Any further delay would spell disaster, as the unstable true dragon factor within them was growing increasingly dangerous. As I extended my hand, I sensed the presence of another within their soul, an entity that seemed to be a part of my little sibling, a fragment of themselves. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, I cast the rebirth magic upon them. There was a purpose behind my choice of this particular spell. Their spiritual body had suffered severe damage, far beyond the point of conventional healing. To mend it through traditional means would be not just difficult, but impossible. That is why I resorted to rebirth magic. This ancient and potent magic would not only restore their spiritual body but would also allow them to fully embrace their nature as a true dragon, granting them a complete true dragon factor. With this transformation, they would emerge not merely healed, but reborn stronger, more resilient, and fully attuned to their new existence as a true dragon. This was my way of ensuring they could face the challenges ahead, and could confront the looming threat that Feldway posed. Third Pav. As Veldonava invoked his ancient magic, a thick, swirling mist began to envelop Rimuru. The mist, dark and ethereal, danced around his form, gradually thickening until it obscured him entirely. The air grew heavy with an otherworldly energy, a power so ancient it seemed to transcend time itself. As the mist coiled tighter, it began to take shape, forming an egg-like structure around Rimuru, pulsating with a soft, luminescent glow. Time seemed to stand still as the transformation continued. The mist solidified, the nebulous tendrils weaving together into a shell, a perfect, gleaming egg. This was no ordinary egg, it radiated with the primordial energy of a true dragon, a being of immeasurable power and ancient lineage. The egg shimmered with an aura that spoke of rebirth, of new beginnings, yet it carried with it the weight of an untold destiny. Suddenly, the stillness was shattered. Without warning, the space around the newly formed egg rippled, as though reality itself was bending to accommodate a new presence. Out of the ether, a figure emerged, a being of formidable power and enigmatic presence. The air crackled with tension as this stranger stepped forward, their eyes gleaming with an inscrutable light. There was something both familiar and alien about them. The newcomer's gaze locked onto the true dragon egg, a subtle expression of recognition and intent flickering across their face. They seemed neither surprised nor alarmed by the sight, as though they had expected this very moment. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, the air thick with the possibilities of what was to come. The presence of this enigmatic figure added a layer of mystery to the unfolding event, hinting at deeper, hidden forces at play. As the egg pulsed with life, Veldonava Pav. As the egg began to solidify before me, I noticed a sudden shift in the atmosphere. A presence materialized, one that was strikingly similar to Rimuru, yet distinctly different. The figure that stood before me had the same familiar features, but where Rimuru's eyes shone with a golden hue much like my own, this entity's eyes were a deep, piercing crimson. They seemed to radiate an intensity that spoke of vast, untapped power and unwavering resolve. Curiosity stirred within me. Who are you, and from where do you come? I asked, my voice laced with a calm authority, yet edged with genuine intrigue. The figure met my gaze, their crimson eyes unwavering. I am Seal, a Manas, or theosophical core. I exist within the soul of Lord Rimuru, providing support. It is an honor to meet you, Lord Veldonava, the entity replied, their voice carrying a serene yet profound depth, each word measured and deliberate. A Manas, an existence so rare that even I, the creator of worlds, had never encountered one before. The only parallel I could draw was to Michael, yet there was something distinct about this being. Manas, I've never encountered one before. Few have ever reached such a level. So, you are akin to Michael, but what purpose brings you before me? I inquired, my curiosity deepening. I recalled Rimuru's earlier explanations about Manas and Michael, yet seeing one manifest before me was an entirely different experience. Ciel's expression remained calm, her gaze steady and sincere. Yes, Lord Veldonava, I am similar to Michael, yet different in my essence. As I mentioned, I dwell within the soul of Lord Rimuru, born from his strongest desires. My sole purpose is to protect and support my lord in every way possible. I have come here to express my gratitude to you for saving my master, she said, her voice imbued with a quiet but unwavering conviction. As she spoke, she bowed slightly, a gesture of deep respect and acknowledgement. A smile tugged at the corners of my lips. There was something genuinely touching about this entity's devotion, a purity of purpose that resonated with me. There is no need to thank me, I said warmly, my voice carrying the weight of both ancient wisdom and newfound affection. It is only natural for me to help my new little sibling. As my words hung in the air, Ciel gave a subtle nod before her form began to fade, dissolving back into the ether from which she came. I watched as she returned to the egg, or rather, to the depths of Rimuru's soul. The connection between them was palpable, a bond forged through shared experiences and unwavering loyalty. I turned my gaze back to the egg, feeling the weight of what was to come. Inside that shell, a new life was preparing to emerge, a life imbued with both the strength of a true dragon and the fierce determination of its protector. The future, once clouded with uncertainty, now seemed to shimmer with the possibilities of what this new being might achieve. To be continued.